Heaven is a Traffic Jam on the 405, directed by Frank Stiefel, is a short documentary featuring 56-year-old Mindy Alpert and her struggle with acute debilitating mental illnesses exacerbated by her physically and emotionally traumatic childhood. The documentary explores her ability to communicate and express herself through a visually evocative artistic work. The central premise of the film surrounds the ability to create beautiful and evocative pieces of art despite the experience of horrific trauma. The film advocates visual art's ability to communicate on a sensory level and to promote healing and self-expression within the creator. The central themes are mental illness, childhood trauma and dysfunctional parental relationships, creativity, and self-awareness and perception. Stiefel's film cannot be classified under one definitive documentary model, drifting between poetic, observational, and biography cinematic modes. Stiefel adopts a fluid approach to his material, aiming to espouse a broader image on her life and mental illnesses. Elements of the poetic documentary model within Stiefel's film are emphasized with use of overtly visually stimulating cinematic techniques. This is explicitly evident within the cinematography in a scene depicting Alpert's experience within Costco. Within Costco, cinematographer Frank Stiefel attaches his camera on the edge of the shopping trolley, absorbing the jolted movements from the camera's uneven ground underneath the trolley. As the scene progresses and Alpert's anxiety increases, Stiefel switches to a handheld camera, intentionally shaking the shot framing to cinematically and metaphorically express her distress. Alpert's anxiety is also emphasized cinematically through the numerous cuts to extreme close-ups of her tremoring hand. Observational documentary techniques is also identifiable within the film. Driven by talking head interviews, predominantly of Mindy Alpert and Alpert's mother, the film follows conventional biographical tropes within cinema. This amalgamation of the documentary form is not unusual within documentaries, as according to Bill Nichols, filmmakers frequently adopt a fluent, pragmatic approach to their material, blending different models and modes to achieve a distinct result. The film opens up with a high-angle long shot of a busy traffic scene. Disruptive car noises of engines, honking and car screeching against rubble are played. The scene then cuts to an extreme close-up of Alpert within her car. Sunlight shines from her car window, illuminating the edges of her face as a gentle piano orchestra is played. The scene then cuts to slow-motion images of her view outside the window. Long, smooth, panning and tilting shots exhibit the city's strong and luxurious architecture. This is juxtaposed against a medium shot of people outside, aggravated within their car. Stiefel's use of sound and cinematography depict Alpert's unique perception of the world. The film develops by going into Alpert's story of her childhood, struggles with mental health and prescriptive medications, and her dysfunctional relationships with her father and mother. Within the film, Alpert explains that she was not able to verbally communicate for 10 years. Thus, her artworks were used as a tool of communication. This is replicated within the film's production design. Alpert's voice is often played whilst animated versions of her line drawings are shown depicting her struggles with mental health and her family. Stiefel additionally uses production design to provoke the audience to make realizations beyond Alpert's words. Within the film, Alpert states that although her father was abusive, he would never sexually abuse her. This is juxtaposed against an overlay of images Alpert drew as a child, depicting herself and her father in a sexually provocative manner. The film concludes with Alpert appearing reflective within her studio, whilst moulding a tiny sculpture resembling her father. Alpert's actions within the shot provide a sense of closure within the film. Although the effects of her childhood trauma have remained throughout her adult life, her father's death makes his ability to continue to influence her life minimal, portrayed through the small size of his sculpture. Furthermore, through medication and psychology, Alpert has the ability to change his effect on her, symbolized through her ability to mold his clay representation.